Hey world, we have a special guest in the house tonight. We have a style icon in the building, always radiating excellence. You guys seen his work in Vogue, seen him on Sherry Shepherd. The list goes on. And one thing I like about him, he always keeps his word. Definitely God's gift, God's child, live in the flesh. Please welcome Mr. J. Bolin. How are you?
Well, you're so kind, Kat. I appreciate that. Thanks for the introduction.
Of course. First of all, I have to start off. I want to thank you for being a man of your word. I met you at the Good Soul Conference, and I basically ran up on him. I'm like, listen, I've been emailing you. I haven't got no response. Let me go to the source. And I just really appreciate your time. It's always the one thing we never get back. So I definitely want to start off and saying thank you for the opportunity.
No problem at all. What's crazy to tell you is that how hard of a time we had getting on here today with my schedule and all the things. This is when I know that something is meant to be. Like when there's a little bit of a fight, I know that the conversation is going to be impactful and it's going to help somebody. And so that's the reason why I held on to my word and kept going so that we can get to this place. So it's going to be good.
I appreciate that. Look, you're giving them behind the scenes. I wasn't even going to say a word till you said something.
Gotta keep it 100 with the people, okay?
Of course. So I want to jump right into it. Can you tell us a little bit about your story, your personal story?
Yes, sure. I'm not sure if you have enough time. I know this is SNL, but I'm a small town country boy from Mississippi. And I started in the fashion world on MySpace. I went to Alcorn State University. So I worked my way, and I have a degree in advanced technology and engineering. And obviously, I was headed on a completely different path. And so I had an interest always in fashion in college. Didn't know how I was going to be a part of fashion. I just knew that as a Black man, I needed to put on clothes to look good in the South, because that's just what we were told to do growing up. Like my grandfather, from my parents, is like, if you're gonna leave this house, you make a choice and you leave here looking good. And when you go to HBCU, you have no choice but to get dressed and to look amazing. I don't care if it's a football game, the cafeteria, and then I was a part of the Student Government Association as well. And so there was always an expectation of looking like excellence at all times. Even when you weren't feeling like excellence, you had to look like excellence. And so years down the line, I was working for a Nissan plant, went from Nissan plant to the bank, went from the bank to Tougaloo College. And when I got to Tougaloo College, that's where it all happened. I was working in the financial aid department, and the students loved what I would wear. And they would always say, Mr. B, you're so cool. We just need you to just start something up with fashion with us. And I said, you know what? I got rejected in fashion from my school for 4 years in a row. So why not start something here and be the superstar in this moment? And so I work with the students there, and I work with the president and the rest of the faculty. They allowed me to use the buildings for free. And that's where I kind of started my career in fashion, by hosting the most unorganized fashion shows in the world. Didn't know anything about what the fashion industry was supposed to look like, like the skill set, like knowing anything. All I knew is that I had the energy and I had the zeal to just step in the room and make something happen, and share with the community. And it started to develop, Kat, where we would have 500 people minimum. And we were doing like a show every 2 months, like at least one big show every 2 months. We had 500 people minimum coming to shows. And it just became a big thing in Mississippi at the time. And so it just kind of elevated from one thing to the next. And I took this thing over to MySpace. And MySpace, I started, and I called myself a celebrity fashion stylist when I had never worked with a celebrity before. And celebrities started to call. And that's a little bit of my journey. I have a wife and 2 kids, and they're the center of my joy.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. I would have never thought that was the story, because I was looking around. I was like, I don't know if it's blasting other people here, but I didn't know your story, and I wanted to start that off right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely. So when you style someone, are you dressing their body or their story?
I'm dressing the story but you still got to dress the body. The body still got to be dressed at all times. I don't care how amazing your story is. If you're not dressing the body right, you got to know the body types. And so I study people for where they are, and obviously I've had the opportunity to study different body types because I'm from the South, so I saw all kind of women, and I come from a family of women that were some were petite, some were tall, and some were curvy, some were extremely slim. And so I was able to always hear from people from all my family and friends and community that I can't find this for my body. I can't find that for my body. I wish it was short sleeve. I wish it was long sleeve. I wish it was shorter. I wish they had shoes that were size 12 for women. So I heard all these different things growing up. And so now when it's time to dress the body, I understand. Like there's no limitation to finding whatever the need is to develop the look and to dress the body the appropriate way. And dressing the body and dressing the story is listening to the client. So I'm always listening to the client. Even if they just doing this, I'm still just listening because I'm always going to pick up something out of it that's going to help to continue to develop the story as I continue to create a story. Because at the end of the day, they're a blank canvas for me. And so I get to, create art with the ladies and the fellas.
Okay. Have you ever outgrown a version of yourself that everyone still loved?
What a question to ask. While you're in the middle of the season, while I'm in the middle of the season, that's what you're going to ask me, Kat? Because here's the thing. I have done well in one area of my career, and it's serviced the majority of the community across the world. And the ladies loved it. The fellas loved it. Everybody loved it, and it had its moment. And it had its season. I don't know where I'll go from here. Will I ever touch it again? I don't know. Who knows? But at this point, I just know wherever God wants to lead me in my career now is the path that I'd rather be on than pleasing my audience of people. And I love my audience of people that have followed me and that have supported me and along the way. But to do things that fulfill me in this season and to do things that fulfill the destiny that God has them. I think it's always important to know when something has an expiration date and when you're just sitting in it and then you're getting annoyed and then things are not working and you're just steadily trying to go. And it's like you're like a hamster. You're just going in this cycle, around this little ring over and over again. When God has already given you the open door, you just don't want to take it because it doesn't look like what you've done. It's not the formula that you've already used. It's not the path that you've already, blazed. And so once you blaze the trail, you're just like, I'm in it. I know the formula. I know what works for me. I'm just going to stay right here. And to come out of that and to say, I'm going to try something completely new, blind, it's not the best feeling. But I do believe that on the other side of it is something that is more beautiful than any of us could ever imagine. And so sometimes winning for ourselves requires letting other people down. And so that's the thing. So now I'm in a phase where I'm doing something for myself, but I'm also doing something, for God. But at the end of the day, I know that there are people that are disappointed. I get the emails, I get the DMs, people are like, oh my God, like I want to buy more clothes from you. I want things from you. I need you. Like you're the only person that gave me confidence in this moment. I'm thinking, God, what am I supposed to do? I'm hearing all these people. And God's like, listen, you're not God. I'll take care of them. You just do what I called you to do over here right now. And so once you start to release that and understand that that you're loved, that's all it is. It's just that when people love you, they're going to express their gratitude, their want, and their need. And it always lets me know that there's more for the future. I just don't know when. It's just not this moment. So yes, to answer your question, the simple answer is yes, Kat.
Okay. What does forgiveness look like for you in business?
Grace. Forgiveness looks like grace to me. I've made a million mistakes myself in business. I've been fired. I've been hired. I've been loved. I've been laughed at. And it's from a lot of things I didn't know, a lot of ignorant mistakes along the way that a lot of us don't have blueprints to really show us the way. And for those who do have blueprints along the way, sometimes you still will mess up along the way. Like we have a blueprint, it's called the Bible. But how many of us still mess up along the way? How many of us still need grace? You know what I mean? Along the way. So it doesn't matter if you have a blueprint or not. But for those who don't have a blueprint at all, like myself who didn't have a blueprint, I made a lot of mistakes. And so I not only, allow myself to have grace when it comes to my mistakes, but I have to often give that same amount of grace to people and forgive people when I've been wronged along the way. Because, in this market, we're in the entertainment industry, we're creators, we're entrepreneurs. So there are a lot of moments where you feel slighted and your heart is on the line and your creativity is on the line and you feel like you got slapped in the face and maybe I'm not appreciated here. All those different feelings and emotions will come upon you. But I think it's something about becoming more and more mature and embedding grace in you that helps with your emotional intelligence at all times. And there'll be moments that you want to nuck if you buck. Okay, there will be moments where
I was just about to say that. Okay,
there are going to be moments where you're going to want to not show grace. Let's be real about it. That's when you have to turn off nuck if you buck. You can't play nuck if you buck when you're ready to show out. You know what I mean? You gotta get in a place of calmness. You gotta make sure you're calling the right kind of friends. If you got friends that gonna clap back with you and tell you all the things about what you are, what you deserve, and what they deserve, what they don't deserve, that's not the friend to call when you're in a moment like that. You call a friend that can really keep it pretty level for you and keep you calm and keep you at peace, because ultimately the battle is not yours. So why are you fighting it? You know what I mean? So show the grace and keep moving on. Let me tell you something. If Jesus can forgive the people who whipped him down, who are we to get frustrated with somebody and not forgive them and not show them grace along the way when we're getting whipped and our whipping is not even close? You know what I mean?
Right. Wow. It's very true. So what does partnership mean to you now versus when you first started?
So much more. I don't think that I believed in a lot of partnership in the beginning. And what I think what I know as partnership now, I probably had partnerships then and didn't realize it. Like when I worked with photographers or work with hairstyles or makeup artists, that's partnerships. Like you're partnering up to develop an actual product. But I was like, I want to be in my own world. I want to be an entrepreneur. I don't want to team up with nobody. It's like the teacher giving you a group project where everybody's not going to show up and deliver on the actual project. So you just want to do it by yourself. Like those were the moments that I was having. And I felt like as I was building something myself and didn't necessarily need people, whether they was going to be hype one day, off one day, on the next day, mood swings, all that, I was just like, I'm good. Just let me do it myself. And I'm understanding nowadays that partnership is the new currency. Like it's the one thing that everybody needs, partnership, in order to be able to make it in the society. What we've really come to realization is that we can't survive without community. And a big portion of community is partnership. And I just think it's vital now. I mean, whether I'm partnering with a peer, you know what I mean, in styling, or whether I'm partnering with Nike, or whether I'm partnering with whatever brand it is, like whether it's a brand partnership, whether it's a peer partnership, whatever it is, it's helping you to move forward. So why not? Why not get on the path of something that elevates you, evolves you, and moves you forward? I feel like that's all partnership does.
Wow. So how do you maintain authenticity in an industry that sells illusion?
This is a really good question. I think being from Mississippi has helped a lot. I'm still surrounded around really solid people. I enjoy it. That's more than anything. I enjoy being around real people that laugh, love, clown, have a good time. I enjoy that to the max. I like my friendships have to be where we're screaming, laughing through the roof.
Okay.
I don't want friends that I have to just chuckle with. Like I need friendships that's gonna help me to let it all out where we're living life in abundance. You know what I mean? And so that authenticity, I think that one, my mom doesn't play it if you're not. My siblings don't play it if you're not. They have something called humble pie.
Yep. Yep.
And your friends just know how to humble you at any time. Like I'll be like, "Oh, I just did the American Music Awards." They was like, "Yeah, but you was whack." Laughing about it. You know what I mean? Like they'll laugh about it, but then they'll say, "Oh no, you did good. Seriously, you did
Right.
good."
Right.
But next time, wear some pants that are a little longer. Or but next time, wear a jacket that's a little more slimming. Like we'll play and laugh with each other like that. And those are those moments that keep you humble. When I come home, sometimes my wife and kids are like, "Yeah, you did all right. That could have been a little better." And it just keeps you humble to know that there's always room for improvement. And there are people that are going to always keep it real with you. Keeping real people around you is, I think, the main ingredient to living in your authenticity.
Yeah. So, what did you tell yourself when you walked into a room where you didn't yet belong, but you know that at some point you would be a part of the room?
Breathe. I would tell myself to breathe. And when I
Breathe.
wasn't telling when I wasn't telling myself to breathe, I would just breathe. My back would hurt, my neck would be hurting. I'll be trying to be skinny and trying to hold it together and trying to keep my mind focused and trying to make sure that I'm saying all the right things and articulating the right things. And am I coming off as like this guy from the South that people already think don't really know how to get with the groove? All those different thoughts were going through my head, and then I would dress different at that. So I'm in a room of people of men that are dressed in suits and women that are dressed in suits, and then here I am dressed in my own fashionable way. But we're all called to be in the room, but be in the room independently. And I just refuse to be a zombie. I refuse to just be a mannequin. And so over the years, what I've learned is just to walk in and be myself, because there's so much power and so much impact. Those people, what I really noticed is that the stares, I had to change my perspective. When they were staring at me, it wasn't that they were staring at me to look down on me. They were staring at me because they were interested. And if I had known in those moments that people were interested versus judging me, I probably would have been more receptive, and the relationships could have developed into something else. But I didn't even give them moments to develop because my insecurities were screaming, "They don't like you. Look at what you have on. You don't fit in the room." And so if I had just walked in the room and known that I belong in the room, I don't own the room doesn't own me, but I am special. And so I just think changing the perspective would have helped out so much in those moments. And so now when I walk in a room, I do breathe and I do have a good time and I do laugh. And it is still hard for me to be the networker. I'm not you may say I talk a lot. My friends may say that I talk a lot. I do it because I know that it's a necessity, not because it's something that comes easy to me. It's a necessity to communicate. And after all these years, listen, you better learn how to speak up and talk
Right.
and ask for what you want and all these different things. And so that's where I'm at now. And so it's not easy to do. It's not effortless to do, but it's something that I'm willing to do to get to where I need to get to.
Okay. So, when has faith scared you more than fear did?
Every day.
He said every day.
It's every day. I'm like, I mean, if you know, like I know, anybody's watching know, like I know that sometimes you'll wake up with a new vision that God gives you. You'll wake up with a new idea, and you'll feel that needs to happen now. And you're like, but provision doesn't look like now. So how am I going to bring this vision to life when I don't see any provision anywhere? Like north, south, east, west, I'm not seeing it anywhere at all. And that's when it really scares you, is because you know that you've been called to do something, but it's kind of like, well, why am I called to do this? Like I have this this brunch that I did for New York Fashion Week. And the first thing that I had a vision was from God that told me to, hey, go to New York Fashion Week, plant your feet in New York Fashion Week is what I kept hearing. And I was like, first of all, that's expensive. It's New York City. A brunch, absolutely not. Thirdly, who's going to come and why am I having the people in the room that I already either know, I've seen, you know what I mean? I can go to another event and just see these people talk to them. So I backed out of it, and God was like, put your foot in the ground at New York Fashion Week. And so I ended up putting my foot down at New York Fashion Week, and I was like, well, where's the money going to come from? Who's going to pay for this? And sponsors just started coming out. People just started calling, hey, I see what you're doing. You need any help with anything? I'll pay for that. I'll take care of this. I'll take care of that. Same thing for Atlanta, Georgia. I have another one coming up. It's a calling. It's not even, these are not money-making events. This is just literally walking in a calling and a mission in this particular moment. And so people are calling, gee, you need any help? You need anything? That's when faith scares you. Faith scares you is when you don't know the how. Sometimes you don't even know the why. You don't know either one. It's like, why? Like, God, why do you want me to do a brunch that ain't nobody got to pay for? Like, if you want to sit and talk to me, at least pay me to hear what I have to say, okay? These life struggles and survival moments are worth $1 or $2, okay? And God's like, nope, just open the doors.
Wow.
So here we are. Every other week, a new idea is coming to my head. It's like, okay, here's another faith moment that scares the heck out of me.
That brunch, I wasn't there, but that brunch, I mean, it was out of a magazine. That was not a regular brunch. We're going to start there. The flowers, we're going to start there because I got married last year. I know how much flowers cost. That was not a regular brunch. I mean, that was just, I mean, completely, when I saw the pictures, I'm like, I'm thinking about, you know, my I have an upcoming event, matter of fact, coming in the next less than 30 days. And it's my first event as well. And I literally was in the same space of how this gonna come together, how that come together. And I think you're so right. Just when it naturally flows, things show up.
This is very true.
It is. It is. But that brunch was not the regular brunch, you guys.
I appreciate that.
I mean, people should have been paying $1,000 a pop. Easy.
I know. That's the normal thing, right? It's the business mindset. It's what we go to. And I just kept hearing, nope, this is not one of those. This is not one of those moments. I'll provide for it. Whatever seed it is you're putting into this, it'll pay for itself later. And I'm like, when? When? Show me.
So how do you discern who's connected to you versus who's connected to your name?
These questions are brutal tonight. You came in with your boxing gloves on, Kat.
I know, right?
I really think that the biggest thing to do when it comes to making sure that people knowing who should be attached to your name versus who's attached to me, people that are in my personal world, that's the attachment to me, right? That's, Jason Bolin, maybe you're attached, maybe there's some people that are attached to Jay Bolin. That's all things work. That's work. I think on a personal side, just being wise about who's being discerning about who's in your corner, who's really there for you, who's really holding on to the coattail to kind of see what the end is going to be. That's always important as well. And even knowing when to let go of the ones that are around you that you feel are for you, it can be extremely difficult. It can be extremely difficult. Trying to figure out, should they be attached to your name still? Nothing's wrong. Nothing's happened. Nothing's bad happened at all. Sometimes it's the expiration date for both of you all to just evolve to the next thing. So sometimes attachments doesn't have anything. When you're detaching from the attachment of your name being connected to one another, it doesn't have to always be bad. Sometimes it's literally just an expiration date and God's saying, okay, it's time for both of you to spread your wings in a different direction.
So what does luxury mean to you beyond fabric and brand names?
Just nice. You know what I mean? Just like,
okay.
when it feels good, when it smells good, when it inspires. When I can look at something and it inspires me, that makes me happy more than anything. My mom would always want to know, why do you want your house so decorated? Why do you care about your hotel room having fresh flowers in it and candles in the room? It's because I want to be inspired. That's luxury to me. I can make luxury wherever I go. You can put me in the worst looking home, and I know how to bring lux to it. Bringing lux to it is what makes me happy, what makes me excited, what gives me comfort, and what inspires me. I don't think lux just means money. I don't think lux means that it has to cost a certain amount. I think lux is the experience that you create for yourself.
Wow, that's
Like,
very true.
yeah, like the lifestyle, like because there's so many people that have expensive things and they call it luxury, but it's not a luxury lifestyle. It's just a luxury piece. But when you live in a luxury lifestyle, it's something that you've created that inspires you.
Wow. What part of your work do you believe is misunderstood by the industry?
That I only work with church people. That's it. I work, and that I only work with celebrities in general.
I was
Like,
just about to say that. Yeah.
do you only work with celebrities? Do you? He wouldn't work with me. I've had people to tell me to my face, like people that are in politics and everything. They're like, you wouldn't work with me. I'm like, I would work with you, and I can work with you. It's just an expression of whatever you see. Sometimes is what you're attracted to. So you don't necessarily know if all you're seeing is Christian church people on my page or in my portfolio. The first thing you think is that's all I do. You know what I mean? Or if you only see African Americans on my page, you automatically assume he wouldn't style another ethnicity. But all of it's not true. I have range. I want the people to know that I have range. Okay, there's plenty of things that I can do, and there's some things that I don't necessarily push. A lot of the times, because sometimes it just becomes a little controversy, and people assume because you are doing one thing that, just because I'm styling somebody in the gospel arena doesn't mean that I wouldn't go and style somebody that's secular or go on tour with somebody that's secular. I will do both. My light will shine in both rooms. My gift will shift and make change in both rooms. So, I mean, obviously, I walk in it with discernment. You're not going to be nowhere where they worship the devil, on a tour bus. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so
can you? Oh no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's just that all of it has its own different perspective.
So I want you to talk about the celebrity thing. So I don't know, been around them a lot. Can you talk about the importance of standing your ground? Because some people think I'm sure you had the couple moments where people think they have a name and they can just talk to you any type of way.
Yes.
How did you navigate that piece? And I want you to really talk about that because I think people don't realize that at the end of the day, these celebrities and influencers, whatever you want to call them, they're still people. But talk about those times.
I've walked in rooms and people have told me they're agents and people have told me, like, listen, don't look them in the eye. Like, look, keep your face down to the ground. I'm like, what? I'm from Mississippi. We don't do that. We don't talk like that to one another around here. Like, people, we love from where I'm from. And so I didn't come from a family that tolerated that either. Like, we only allow respect. We only allow love. And so when celebrities do try it, and when people of impact or high profile people or people of influence go sideways, I think people want to know that you're firm and that you can stand your own ground. If people know they can run over you, sometimes they will. So I think it's just important that if you're respected, people think, oh, if I be nice or run over, they'll call me back. Or because I won't agitate them. I'm not getting on their nerves. But people will call you back because they know that they can honor you, they can respect you, and that they don't have to worry about you being a yes man around them. Because I'm going to give it to you 100. I'm going to tell you like it is. It won't be no sugarcoating. I'm going to do it in the most professional way, the most authentic way. But I think a lot of my relationships that I've had over the years have been because we've been able to have the most genuine conversations. We've had some hardships and we've had some really amazing times. But in those hardships, we were able to stand the test of times because we were able to have the hard conversations. And it wasn't that one person was allowed to have a hard conversation and the next person had to listen. We both were able to have a hard conversation and we both were receptive. And you'll find moments where people aren't receptive, and that's where you know you need to leave because you're not being respected. And nobody deserves to be in a place where they're not respected.
Right. So last two questions. So talk about the transition now. So you're styling people, then I see the homes, I'm seeing event spaces. How in the world, I've never seen someone be able to, because normally people can do one or the other, not both, and then all the things in between. So how is that? And talk about what's next.
Oh my God. So obviously I love interior design. I love styling, and all of it is playing its role together. I've stepped into this role of being a creative director. And so now I'm able to really position myself to have people around me to be able to delegate to those that are around me as well, to say, hey, this is the project. Here's what we're working on. Here's what the client is asking for. Here's how we're going to deliver. People call me for interior. They call me for home reset, home refreshes. They're calling me to speak. They're calling me to educate, and they're calling me to style. And so all of those, I'm pretty much doing the same thing. I'm creating style, and anything that you can see, I can style. And so that's the way that we're developing it, whether it's your brand, whether it's your wardrobe, whether it's your home. If we can see it, we can style it.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then my audience said, when are you coming to DC? I was going to ask him the same thing. You going to Atlanta? You're in Texas and all these stuff. When are you coming to DC? When is the tour coming to DC? That's what we want to know.
You know what's interesting? What's interesting is that I literally was having a conversation with somebody, and I told them, I said, I think I want to take my brunch to DC. And they were like, why? Why would you want to go to DC? And I was thinking, people always ask me to come to DC, and I never get the opportunity to really go and do anything there. I'm normally in and out. Like, it's normally a fast-paced situation, but I would love to come to DC. So maybe someone from DC can partner with me, and I bring my brunch to DC, and we have something really fun and unique there, and invite, some really fabulous thought leaders out, tastemakers, influencers, creatives, and we have a great sit-down conversation, one like you and I are having, Kat, but we can go even deeper.
I would love to look. I would love to sign up for that.
Like,
make it happen. Look, whatever you need. No, but I definitely had to throw that. I kept seeing the question there, like, please don't forget to ask him. I told you guys I'm going to ask him. So that's a wonderful thing to know. So you guys have to keep asking me when to make this happen for sure. And is there any upcoming projects that people should know that they can support as well? That you have
that they can support. I would say just keep showing love on social media. Like, I love being able to engage and connect and chat and love on everybody. And like you said earlier, like partnerships, even partnering, like me knowing about other people's brands. Like, it's not just about my brand. I enjoy learning about other people's brands and how I can help and what they have going on. Like the event we did in New York Fashion Week, I had different brands that sent me over different gifting, so they were able to get their pieces in some of the most influential people's hands, and those people are still calling me like, yo, your bags were so good, and my candle was so amazing, and my rings were so nice. And now they know those brands, and now that that person will be able to influence others about their brand. And so it's just that continued cycle of community development that happens if we continue to love on each other and continue to know about what each other have going on. So just stay connected. That's my biggest ask.
Awesome. Well, thanks for your time. We made this interview happen. Like you said, we were not going to let it stop. I'm like, look, if you got to get on the cell phone, we got to make this happen.
I'm so happy that it did.
Really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, and the audience does too. So really, thank you.
You have the best questions ever.
Oh, thank you.
The best question ever. One of my favorite interviews yet.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate you. All right. Well, We'll see you next time.
All right. Y'all have a good one. Y'all stay connected. I'll see you in DC.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Bye, Kat.
Bye.